Once you have your vehicle raised and supported on jack stands, go ahead and take a jack with a block of wood. And what we're going to do is we're going to put up underneath the transmission and apply just a bit of slight upward pressure on that transmission. I'm going to pull up on this little green tab and disconnect this hose. Let's go ahead and loosen the hose clamps on the bottom and the top using a flathead screwdriver. Once those are loose, just wiggle the tube free. Go ahead and set that aside. Going to remove this connector here, so you want to use a screwdriver and just pop up on that little safety clip right here. Push down on the tab and remove that. Go ahead and remove our airbox spring clips. Work the cover off. And go ahead and remove our air filter. And then on the back side here, we're going to use a 10mm socket. Remove the bolt that's holding the airbox. Using a 13mm socket and extension, we're going to go ahead and remove these two top center bolts. We'll go ahead and use our 1/2" drive 13mm in our ratchet. Go to work these bolts and get these out. I'll go ahead and put our wrench down on that other bolt here. Using a 15mm socket, and as we loosened it, the mount itself has moved. So I'm going to go ahead and, before I remove this bolt, I'm going to jack up the transmission a little bit. I want to go ahead and swap over these rubber bushings. I'm just going to slide these out. Do the same for the other side. Install the bushings onto the new mount. And lower the mount down into place. Take our bolt, line that in position, and go ahead and get it started. I'm going to get our two upper bolts started. As you can see, the hole isn't lining up. So we're going to need to jack up the transmission or lower it to get that to line up for us. And that's exactly where we want it. So with that in place, get the bolt started. Install our rearward mounted bolt. Get that started. And we'll do the same for the other bolt here. Once we get these in, we'll go ahead and snug them down. Going to torque the through bolt to 76 foot-pounds. These other four bolts will be torqued to 35 foot-pounds. Now the torque on these four bolts here can vary depending on the production date of your vehicle. So you definitely want to research that before you torque these. Install our airbox by installing the pegs into the rubber bushings on that mount we just installed. ahead and work that into place. And then we'll get the air intake tube lined up and push us back in. Install our 10mm bolt into the back, and we'll go ahead and snug that down. And go ahead and install your air filter. Now, if you need a new air filter, now's the time to go ahead and replace it. We're going to tuck ours into place and then install our cover. Be sure to put the tabs into the notches down below. And then you can go ahead and put the spring clips on. You can go ahead and grab your intake tube. Go ahead and tighten down the hose clamps here. Take your harness right here, bring it up, clip that on, and then you can press the red lock tab in. And lastly, take your tube right here, your vacuum tube, line that up. Press it on until you hear it click. Let's go ahead and lower the transmission jack. And pull that out.